Good morning, Elimination. How are you? Don't ask. Don't even ask. I know that it is 10:19. I know that. You can see I am in a different part of where I should be because I woke up to workers. So if you aren't, by the way, good morning, everybody. Let me know where you're streaming from. Again, I apologize, and I'll tell you why in a second. But because we did the show for our Lemon Legends and for the Lemon Heads last night, and so they will know because I told them what was happening. We had a private stream last night, the first one. It was fantastic, by the way. So if you're not on the Lemon Legends or Elimination, then you missed out. And I forgot, but they probably remember. Remember, guys, if you were on, the chandelier people were coming to hang something in my house. And so I get up, I get ready. My studio's down there right in the middle of everything. And I get ready to go on live with you guys. And they're like, hey, the guys are here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right. So I had to come to a different part of everything to get ready for you. I love your opening music, says Kendra K. Kendra, thank you. I love it too. Morning from DC, says Second Hook. Good morning. Sarah, good morning. Hello from Seattle. Whoop, whoop. Lisa G. Deborah Evans says, good morning from South Carolina. So thank you. This is my other studio. This is the first studio that I started. Hi, good morning, Carmelita from Maryland. South Africa, Mafet Makgale. Are you really in South Africa? Let me know what's up. Good morning, Don. Mods are all... oh, sorry. Go back to that one. I'm late. I'm watching on the actual YouTube feed. I'm not watching on the live feed. But wow, casual observers in Seattle. Morning from Nashville. You guys are all over. So, anyways, I'm so glad that you are joining us this morning, and I appreciate you. Amber Devon, thank you for your support of independent media. If you can hear, they're building scaffolding downstairs. Good morning from Louisiana on Facebook. Hi, Kimberly. Finally, I got a day off and I'm happy to be on with. Oh, yeah. So it's Friday, so we can chill out. Are you guys glad to be here? Are you mad at me for being a little bit late? You can be. I hate it when people are late. I'm not usually late. But today I was like, yeah, Tracy Parker, welcome to Elimination. Tracy Parker became a member. That is so great. And Marcel is on. Ivy Green Blues on. Wait, who's in Liverpool? No way. Chris Aberhart, are you really from Liverpool or are you pulling my leg? Come on. No way. Niagara Falls, Canada. The Liberating Truth. Portland. Anyway. Mama Bird says lurking right now. What do you mean lurking right now? I feel like I need a little. I feel like I had a little too much headroom. Let's see if this will work. How's that? That feels better. Let me know if I need whatever. So London in the UK. Who said that? Who said that? Blackpool, UK here as well. Blackpool today. Who else? Someone said they're London in the UK. Man, you guys are from all over. Yeah, that's better. Good morning from North Las Vegas. You know, Vegas started to grow on me last time I was there. It really did. I'm not usually like a big Vegas fan because I'm not a big gambler. But every time I go, it kind of grows on me. I did not like all of the construction and the scaffolding, the bleachers or whatever they had for what is that car thing that they have there? What is that race thing? I forget what it is. Jetta Jones from Atlanta. I didn't like all the scaffolding. Formula One, is it Formula One? I wasn't crazy about all that crap. So Don, you sent me an autographed book. Twana Ware. Great. Thank you, Twana. I'm glad. I hope you enjoy the book. Not mad at you for being late. Love you from Jacksonville, Florida. Antigua, Guatemala, vacationing. Miranda S. 77. Holy shamoly. The volume on YouTube is not as loud as TikTok. How about now? Let me see. Andy, can you pump up the volume?
Yeah, I'll pump it up.
Or should I bring the mic closer? I'll bring the mic closer.
Let's do both. I brought it up a little bit too.
Okay. So I brought the mic up. Tell me if that is better. Let me know if the volume. How's your volume where you are? I'll speak loudly. I'll speak loudly. So this morning, this is what we want to talk about. Good morning. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show. Welcome to Hot Topics. You know what? What a week. Honestly, seriously, what a week it has been. A chaotic, crazy, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs week. Peter, who is the writer on the show, he loves that cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's one of his favorite sayings. This is just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Trump was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. I think we got some flack about it from the conservative media. I think they're mad at us. I think they're mad. A little too hot on the volume here. Oh, wow. Okay, so we'll put it down. We'll make sure it's good. Volume is good, says Susie Q.
We can't win.
Yeah, I know. We can't win, Andy. What the hell? We're trying to help. Pump up the volume. My era. Oh, that's Pump Up the Volume, the song. That's what Ruben Clement says. I know. Pump up the volume. Dance, dance. Doom, doom, doom. I love that song. Volume is Gucci, says Flexin' and Steppin'. Volume better now, says Cheryl Gibson. Good. Okay, because I'm speaking into it. So, and look, and we also have a different mic. I got a different mic. I'm back in my old spot where it's a different mic. Blah, blah, blah. East Maine says, yuck. Yuck about what? Yuck about what? Oh, probably Time Magazine. So Trump is named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. By the way, as I was saying, what does Time Magazine even mean anymore? Does it mean anything? I know that Trump likes it. It's like a big thing for him. He likes to, for him, it's a flex. And I'm not giving shade to Time Magazine because I really like the folks who are over there. But I'm wondering, I had to wonder yesterday, like, what are they thinking? Yeah. What are they thinking? And I don't know. Should we, producers, I'm going to send you something. Let me know if we should even care. I just sent it to you. Let me know what you think about it. Should we even address it, or hate is going to hate, or why are they so obsessed with us? They're so obsessed with us. Everybody is. You guys see what I sent you? Should we even care? Should I care? Someone sent it to me. I'm wondering if I should care. I don't think I should. Anyway.
I mean, it's the New York Post.
You actually said the name out loud, Nikki. You're going to get me in trouble. What did they say? What did the New York Post headline say, Nikki? Tell them.
Hold on, the pop-up ads.
Oh,
it says, Don Lemon rages against Time Magazine for naming Trump Person of the Year.
What do you guys think? Should we care? We don't care about Time Magazine. Look, I love the folks over there. I'm just wondering, in general, do magazines? It's almost like the cable and broadcast news or whatever. I mean, look, they still have some credibility or some influence, but does it matter anymore? Does it really matter anymore? I'm not sure if it does. I was at a party last night with my friend Lori Siegel, and we were talking about, she's saying, hey, you were the first person to put me on television, and now when they call, I don't even go because it doesn't matter anymore. Like it's not relevant anymore. So I don't know. MAGA asks, who is Don Lemon after his meltdown over Trump becoming a person of the year? Oh my God, I melted down. Oh my gosh. It wasn't a meltdown. I love it. Crazy. Stop being obsessed with me. Anyway, so Trump was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Jay-Z was accused of, can we say this word? Can we say pedophilia on this algorithm? Jay-Z was accused of that, assaulting a 13-year-old. Luigi Mangione and his six-pack became the most talked about topic in the world. These past few days were utterly insane. So today, I just want to take a step back and we're going to review it all. And we have a lot that we're going to talk about. So just for the purposes of editing and the social media folks, I'm going to read that so that they can get it. This is the way I would do it if I was like doing traditional thing. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Don Lemon Show. What a week it has been. What a chaotic, crazy, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs week. Trump was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Jay-Z was accused of pedophilia. Luigi Mangione and his six-pack became the most talked about topics in the world. And these past few days were utterly insane. So today, I just want to take a step back and review it all because, wow, a lot has happened. So why don't we go into it? Okay, so this is what I feel like this week has been like, okay? I was going to start out with Peter Thiel and his crazy answer, but I want to start out with the shooter because he's talking about the shooter, Peter Thiel is. But the shooter appears like he is at a keg party or something and just doing what college kids do. But it's really interesting to see him sort of in this kind of way. Here it is. Watch this. Have you seen this? Yeah. Now, tell me what you guys think about that, because I was in college once. I wasn't a frat guy. They wouldn't let me become a frat guy because black. They said, nope, you cannot join this fraternity. Sorry, not for black guys. And then, yeah, true story. So what do you think? I mean, is it just a kid being a kid? That's not Brett Kavanaugh, question mark, says 7 dogs. That's not Brett Kavanaugh. College party, no big deal, says Amanda W. It's a little aggressive. Amanda, I'm kind of with you on that one. Doesn't look like someone with a bad back, Carol Hamilton. Carol, I believe that was before the accident, because I think that was in college. I'm not sure. Typical college life, says Helen P. I'm glad you were never a frat guy, says Maureen Marfell. Kid being a kid, says high five, birdie. So I'm kind of with you on that. It's just weird to see someone in that context. Like I was talking to Peter, my producer, this morning, and Peter was saying it's kind of like when you were in school and you would see like your teacher outside of the classroom. Typical drunk frat kid says Shishi 4460. That's what most college kids do, says Avril Troop. Yeah. So it's a little weird seeing it, especially seeing him in this context. And then as you see him in the context of when he was, we had him giving the commencement address, and he's, doing the commencement. I don't know if we still have the commencement address. We can put that up a little bit. And then you see him raging outside of the police station. So we'll look at that if we can get that up. But he went to an all boys high school. So he probably went a little crazy when you first go to college, says Misty Jennings. I agree. He's partying, no big deal. Marie Maniscalco says, yeah, I agree. He's partying. I was just wondering what you guys thought about it, but don't you think it's weird? So when my producer said it's weird to see people, it's weird to see your teachers outside of, like, you run into your teacher at the mall. Has that ever happened? Right? It's not aggressive. That's typical. I went to college parties this year and my daughter, and they all do that. Crazy, says high five birdie 444. Yeah, we did the whole beer shot, like you would pull the tab and punch the hole. Like we would do that, a shooter, I forget what it was called. We did keg stands. We did all that stuff. I got it. Norman Saward said, free Mangione. Frat bro behavior, Porgy's behavior, nothing to see here, move along. I've seen worse from college kids, says Shauna Borg. Yeah. Okay. So this whole week has been dominated really by that kid. I think the other thing that broke through, did someone say something? The other thing that broke through was Jay-Z, right? Mangione tattoo, New Year's frat boy. Yeah. Norman Saward said, I don't know what you mean by that. We did the funnel. Marie Maniscalco. Okay. So we did funnels. So you must be around my age, where you would pour the beer in the funnel. And then do you remember the one again where you would puncture a hole in the beer can and then you would open the cap and it would spurt, and it made you do like a really fast shot? Yeah, we did those. I'm going to tell you something you're not going to like because I'm an older generation. I think this was pre-MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We actually, in Louisiana, when I was a kid, the drinking age was 18, and we were dumb. At 18, your brain is not even. We would drink and drive. We weren't supposed to, but we would go to this place called Peking Gardens. If you were from Louisiana and you remember LSU, well, there was this place in College something. I forget. It was off of College Boulevard, College Drive, and it was called Peking Garden. And Mr. Ho was the guy who owned the place. And what was the name of the things? I think it was called a volcano or something. We would drink. I don't know what was in it. I have no idea. I was in college when the movie Animal House came out. Toga Toga. Yes, Dr. Joyce, that's me. You don't look 60 because I'm not, Indy. That's called shotgunning a beer. There you go. Thank you very much, Amanda. Thank you. So look, 1984 is when I graduated high school, so you can figure it out. So yeah. So we would drink, I think it was called Volcanoes or something. I forget what it was called. Hurricane. No, it wasn't a hurricane. And then we would then go drive to the next party. And then we go to one bar on campus, to the next bar on campus, to the next bar on campus, to the next bar on campus. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about it. So it's weird when you see things out of context. If you do the beer, you see the beer thing. Play the beer thing for me, if you will. Right?
Oh, let me grab it again. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Forget it. Then just play the him outside of the police station. This is him outside of the police station.
Oh my God! That's completely out of touch, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Okay. For me, that was a little aggressive, but the man he has a message. A lot of people don't agree with it. Most people don't agree with what he did, accused of doing. And if you look at the beer thing outside, people will say, "Me too, Don, 1984, Tammy Lewis." Yes, thank you. And so, I think folks would say, even if you did go to those keg parties, the smashing over the head was a little bit aggressive. I do have to say, because I've been to keg parties and people do whatever but that was a bit aggressive. That other thing was a bit aggressive. And then you look at him when he was in high school. Look at this kid. I had hurricanes at Pat O'Brien's in New Orleans, Hamilton. So did I. And I still do when I go back. And then this is him at his commencement speech. So, typical kid. That was back in 2016.
Headmaster Smythe, Mr. Hubeck,
Yeah.
members of the Board of Trustees.
Okay, so let me tell you
family,
this.
Friends,
You can take the volume down
faculty.
on that. If you want to leave it playing, you can. Let me just say this. And if you want to scroll through the 3 videos, you can. But you can just scroll through them, play them, so that people can see. This is 2016, which for us was not that long ago, which is for this kid, for young folks, it may seem like a lifetime. Life is so short. Things can happen so quickly. You go from this sort of buttoned up prep school kid, and I'm not saying the kid is not privileged. I'm not condoning anything the kid did. I'm just saying that life moves quickly, and look, at things can change so quickly, and you never know what is going on in a person's life. You don't know. And you don't know what can happen. And so if you look through all of this stuff, life is so short. It is so, so, so short, and things can change so quickly overnight. This young man who had everything available to him, every resource, money, privilege, all of it, looks, and now pretty much his life is over. Look, his attorney is saying he hasn't seen any evidence, but if you look at the reality of it, again, I'm still going to say allegedly, but if you look at what's going on, he's going to spend a lot of time behind bars. before he got started. High five, Birdie 444. You're going with me. It seems like the breakdown happened in a matter of a year for him. I don't know if it happened in a matter of a year or a couple of years, but it is crazy. So that's why I said nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. And guess what? It doesn't make sense. Even for people who also have every single resource in the world. Peter Thiel, tech billionaire, Silicon Valley. Really, him and other tech billionaires helped to fund Donald Trump's campaign and others. He is J.D. Vance's benefactor. Peter Thiel is a tech guru. I think he was with PayPal. I believe he was in PayPal with Elon Musk. I forget what exactly Peter Thiel's claim to fame, but he is a very wealthy man. He's a gay man, lives in Silicon Valley, likes to donate to conservative causes, which people are like, wait a minute, I don't understand this. The Republicans are not so gay friendly, blah, 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 blah. This is insane. Nothing makes sense. So Peter Thiel was on Piers Morgan's show and was asked about this shooter. And even Peter Thiel, one of the wealthiest people in the world, who is very supportive, Shona Fauberg says, Peter Thiel makes my skin crawl. Well, you're about to see him. And so when I say nothing makes sense, nothing makes sense. And Peter Thiel, it doesn't make sense. He can't even answer the question. This was very bizarre to me, and it was also very uncomfortable to watch. Here it is.
And to those who think this shooter is a hero because he did it because he said this healthcare executive was presiding over a healthcare system which kills thousands of Americans by denying them cover, what would you say to them?
It's I don't know what to say. I still think you should try to make an argument, and I think this is you should, there may be things wrong with our healthcare system, but you have to make an argument, and you have to try to find a way to convince people and change it by that. And this is not going to work.
Pete,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there are all sorts of things one could say about it, but I don't think, and I think the motives feel, I don't want to go into all the particulars here, but I don't think there's anything heroic about him.
Okay. Is there something? You can read my mind. Okay. Mama Bird says he's freaked out. These guys' personalities are all kind of similar, if you know what I'm talking about. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? People who kind of stutter and don't really make sense and have trouble completing sentences, if you know what I'm talking about. What was that? These guys are very similar personalities. Is that part of what makes them so successful, is that they have these very similar type personalities, right? Is this dude okay? Says May Money in the building. Yeah. Can we play that again, please?
And to those who think this shooter is a hero because he did it because he said this healthcare executive was presiding over a healthcare system which kills thousands of Americans by denying them cover, what would you say to them?
It's I don't know what.
Pause. Kendra brings up a good point. Kendra K. Maybe he's scared. I don't know. Do you think CEOs are scared? Maybe. High profile people? That could be, maybe that's a legit question, Kendra. I never even thought about that. I just thought about, hey, I don't know what to say because I want to support, capitalism. I want to support like sort of independence and competition in the marketplace. But then, yeah, that's legit, Kendra. I don't know. I have no idea, but it is uncomfortable. Keep going, please.
What to say? I still think you should try to make an argument, and I think this is there may be things wrong with our healthcare system, but you have to make an argument, and you have to try to find a way to convince people, and change it by that. And this is not going to work. And I don't know. Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, there are all sorts of things one could say about it, but I don't think, and I think I think the motives feel. I don't want to go into all the particulars here, but I don't think there's anything heroic about them.
Look, I don't know what to beat up from Peter Thiel because sometimes I'm at a loss for words, or I say things that are stupid, or I don't know, like even that now, right? So Ira Wing brings up a very good point. Ira says he's always been awkward as a public person. He is not a front of the movement sort of guy. He's a behind the scenes guy. Okay, I understand that. But that was a long pause, but even so, I don't know much of Peter Thiel, and I haven't really seen that much of him publicly. To be quite honest with you, I have friends who know him. Some of them know him very well. I even had, I'm not going to reveal that much. But anyways, I know folks who know him. So we'll see. I just thought, like, again, in this whole idea that nothing makes sense anymore, and this is a kind of week that it has been. Nothing makes sense anymore. Let's see what Elizabeth Warren has to say about this shooter.
Happens when you turn this into the billionaires run it all is they get the opportunity to squeeze every last penny.
Yeah.
And look, we'll say it over and over. Violence is never the answer. This guy gets a trial who's allegedly killed the CEO of United Health. But you can only push people so far. And then they start to take matters into their own hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people are not happy about Elizabeth Warren for saying that because they believe that Elizabeth Warren is making excuses and condoning the behavior and condoning violence. Hot to Go 34 says, choosing his words, talking about Peter Thiel. Dang, he's my age. Says, search for you. And Trump is taking advice from Thiel, says Hamilton. He spoke fine for 3 hours on Rogan, says Amanda W. So there was something about this that just made him uncomfortable. And maybe he is displaying the sentiment from most people in America who say, I don't know what to make of this. Because as we said about the shooter, and I'm going to talk about this later on today, either today or something that we're going to shoot for the weekend or maybe next week, is that our politics are so different right now. Like this whole idea of Republican versus Democrat, I think we may be moving beyond that. But anyway, maybe more later on that. Yeah. Poetic Poem says he is J.D. Vance's kind of guy. He's feeling the pressure of Dark Brandon's boot on his neck. I don't know, Happy. Dark Brandon is about to be out of there. I don't know if there's any boot on the neck anymore. He's a lame duck president. Unless he does something unusual in the next 5 weeks. It's really about 5 weeks until we have another president, just so you know. So get ready. And we'll talk about that in a second. You should check his books out, says Ira Wing. Listening to him, I think it was him and others on, what's her name? The Free Press. Gosh, what is her name? Who does the Free Press? Anyways. She did an interview with him, I believe, and others. and everyone says it's tranquil rain says ketamine. I don't know about that. I have no idea. He's a stutter issue, maybe, says Twana. Okay, so back to Elizabeth Warren. So Elizabeth Warren says, look, you can only push people so far. And there are people who are upset with her saying, look, basically saying that she's condoning violence. That how could you be standing up for that and saying, you can only push people too far? That is ridiculous. She should not be doing that. I don't know what you think about that. I don't know if she's condoning violence, and I'll tell you why. Here's AOC on the shooter as well, alleged shooter.
Taken from a diagnosis. And I think that this collective American experience, which is so twisted to have in the wealthiest nation in the world, all of that pain that people have experienced is being concentrated on this event. And it's really important that we take a step back. This is not to comment, and this is not to say that an act of violence is justified. But I think for anyone who is confused or shocked or appalled, they need to understand that people interpret and feel and experience denied claims as an act of violence against them. People go homeless over the financial devastation of a diagnosis that doesn't get addressed, or the amount that they're going to have to cover with a surprise bill and things like that. And when we kind of talk about how systems are violent in this country, in this passive way, our privatized healthcare system is like that for a huge amount of Americans. I mean, I did not have health insurance until I got elected to Congress.
I got to tell you that that's one of my biggest concerns about being an independent person, is because I worked for a big company for such a long time. And I was like, I never thought about healthcare. And that's true. When you are a person of privilege, and the people who are sitting there, on those anchor desks and whatever, they have company sponsored health insurance. Right. So even if you have to do a copay or whatever, it's a little bit expensive. Okay, it's manageable. What you'll do then, I won't take a taxi, I'll take the subway. Or, I won't fly. Honestly, I'm just being honest. First class, I'll fly coach, and I can pay for this stuff. Like there are some people who are deciding between their homes and paying for healthcare or for the procedure, or not even going to doctors and getting checkups because of it. Like there are people who are making really life and death decisions, right? Jay West says AOC is not telling any lies. So these are life and death decisions. And so here's what I believe. Let me just play this before I tell you what I believe. Okay, Virginia Thomas says AOC is right. This is what I'm talking about. This is Fox News just raging against it, and it is Fox News thing. Okay. Here it is.
You are an employer, if you are a boss, if you are a teacher, if you are in charge of admissions, anywhere in this country right now, check your employees, check your children, check the social media of anyone over which you have control of their employment, their education, their influence, to see if that they have participated in the online hailing of an alleged murderer, because that is sickening. And the whole point is, don't give it oxygen. Right? If you want to make jokes on your private time, fine, do whatever. I don't need to see people's private texts on a late night show proclaiming to be funny. But what I do need to see is a celebration of life, of a man whose life was taken from us by a horrible murderer, no matter who he was. And I need to see there be some accountability in the media for those voices instead of providing oxygen. I need to see talk show hosts like Rachel Maddow take responsibility for their words. And instead of relaying everything back to President Trump, why don't you relay it squarely where it belongs, which is the shoulders of that murderer? He is not to be celebrated. He is to be blamed. And the jury is to be tasked with bringing the murder of Brian Thompson to justice only.
Rebecca.
Okay, so here's the thing. Number one, ma'am, I forget her name, Julia or something. I forget. Campano. Anyway, listen. I don't know about the whole blaming Donald Trump for it, because I didn't watch the Rachel Maddow part, and I don't know whatever. But blaming Donald, they are always saying that people are blaming Donald Trump for it. Okay, so I don't know what Rachel said, but Rachel's a very smart woman and is very much an intellectual and has a lot more intellectual capacity, quite frankly, than that woman. Sorry, all right? Just telling you the truth. And it is the alleged murderer. He's not, even though people kind of know which way it's going, it's alleged murderer, news, right? It's supposed to be news. So if you're at Fox News, alleged. Okay, so anyways, it's easy for her to sit there and say that. And I got to quite frankly, it's easy for me to sit here and to be able to sit here and say that. It's easy for Rachel Maddow to be able to sit there and say that. It's easy for my old colleagues to be able to sit there because they have employer-sponsored health insurance where some of it is really, really great, where you almost pay nothing. You get to put extra money into a till so that you go into the doctor and whatever, you take it out of the money that you saved and you just put it in. So it's easy to say that when people are not, when you're not deciding between rent, mortgage, homelessness, whether you're even going to have something treated because you can afford it or not. Very easy for her to be able to sit there and say that. And it is really a simple argument. It is a very simple argument that she's making. It's not a nuanced argument. So here's how I feel about it. We can hold two thoughts in our minds at the same time. We can hold many thoughts in our minds at the same time. It is very nuanced. You cannot condone, and I don't think anyone is, what the alleged shooter did, what Mangione did. You can feel vitriol against him for doing what he did, but you can also understand that he has brought light to a very unjust healthcare and health insurance system in this country. And rather than sitting on a glossy anchor desk with a face full of makeup and stylist and, doing your hair and makeup and people giving you clothes and all of that stuff, I know because I was there. And look, good for her. I'm not saying that that's bad, but I'm just trying to bring context to it. To the people who sit on those things and they have clothing allowances, right? So you don't really have to pay that much for your clothing because you can look good going on television. That money that you would be spending on clothing, you can give a doctor for a copay. I'm just saying. So it's sometimes when you're not connected in that way, you don't understand what people are actually going through. And so you can understand the sentiment of why folks have the sentiment about it. And then also understand that what the person who shot and killed the CEO did was wrong. And that maybe you should not be sitting there lecturing and scolding people. My first take on this was, I don't condone violence. I think there's no excuse. Of course, there's no excuse for what he did. And then I felt like, oh, you know what? My friend called me afterwards and said, Don, I understand what you're saying, but you don't want to come off as if you're scolding people because you don't know what people are going through. And then explain to me the issues that he felt. And not that he, wanted this person, this CEO, to be harmed, but he understood the public sentiment of why someone could be in so much pain that they would do something irrational just because they're in pain and because they feel that they are because they are not getting anywhere. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? And so to sit there in New York City with, someone who comes in every day, let me tell you, does your hair and your makeup, the car comes to pick you up for work, you have health insurance, go bet whatever. Oh, I'm going to go get my teeth cleaned because whatever, I have health insurance and my copay is $45 or whatever it is, or it's free under my health. And then to say that, it's like, come on, lady. Understand that most people don't live that way. People are going through hell. Peggy McGeary says in the comments. I agree. But again, that's not to say that what this person is accused of doing is okay. That's not to say that the person who killed this CEO, what they did was okay. But you can understand why the public feels the way that they feel about this. That's why I say nothing makes sense. This is insane. Here's my friend Scott Galloway explaining, who knows all. He's one of the smartest people I know, especially when it comes to investment, money, business, healthcare, where this money goes. This is what Scott Galloway has to say about the healthcare system. Here it is.
Wait, which clip is Scott Galloway?
Oh, do we have it?
We
don't have it yet.
Oh, was it? Did you send it to us?
Yeah. That's
I
all.
don't have that yet.
Okay. Well, let me know when you have it, and
Okay.
then we'll do it. Thank you, producers. So that's why I say nothing really makes sense in this moment. And again, I don't want to beat up on that young lady on Fox News. I don't know. I think I've met her. I think I met her like at the White House Correspondents' Dinner party or something. And, you know, when I meet the folks at Fox News, they're very nice. Usually they want to take a picture or whatever. It's fine. It's no big deal. But I just don't think we should be sitting here scolding people. And I also think that one of the reasons that, that the corporate media is doing, where they are now, Fox News is doing okay. Fox News they're not growing, but they haven't lost audience, right? Because their guy is in. But they're not growing. And most of it, it's not the heyday. It's definitely not the heyday of Trump, the first Trump administration, the first campaign, the first Trump administration, and COVID. It's not the same. But they're not losing an audience like most people, because I think people haven't realized. Tone deaf, says a political hitman. It is tone deaf. I think what people haven't realized is that for folks like that accused shooter, it's really not so much about left or right. Again, and I'm going to talk about this later on, a little bit later at another time. It's really not so much about left or right, because I found that as I was going across the country to these college campuses and all over, some people had sort of mixed ideas about what their politics are. And most of them are just sort of anti-establishment. Like this kid is anti-establishment. He's anti the man. He's not really left or right. If you look at the people he follows on social media, he follows AOC, and I think Peter Thiel, and I think maybe Elon Musk, and I think he follows those guys. And people of different, so he's and all of those people, except for now, you got Musk and other guys who are in the administration, and we're sort of these outsider guys. But you have people now, for the most part, who are just sort of anti-establishment, anti the system, so to speak, and they want to change that system. And especially sort of these like podcast bros, some of them are conservative, a lot of conservative talking points, a lot of conservative, that they're being fed and don't even realize it. Yeah. Jess, thank you for your support of independent media. Jess says, Don, it was not only because the perp was in pain, he felt it to be an injustice, and his fury, he became just the thing he hated. Yeah.
I'm Scott Galloway now, Don.
Okay. You cannot become what you fight against. And maybe he did become what he fought against. Maybe in some way that he did, but he is bringing light to it. This is what Scott Galloway is. How long is this? Do we know, Andy?
About 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Let's listen to some of it. This is my friend Scott Galloway. Here it is on the healthcare system.
Have health insurance. And people hear that and they go, whoa, no health insurance. Because health insurance for me and my family, for the health insurance I want, is $50,000 a year. And because I have some economic security, I can absorb a big health scare. I can absorb almost any health scare. And so I decided, all right, about 50% of our healthcare costs are not being reimbursed, so I'm going to go without health insurance. I did that 5 years ago. $250,000 will buy a lot of healthcare. So what the healthcare industry has done, especially the health insurance, the insurance part of the industry, which I think is the most vulnerable, 45% of all insurance costs in healthcare go to profits and administration, meaning if you spend $100 on health insurance, you're getting $55 back. If you're a younger person, you don't get $55, you get more like 25 or 35 because you're subsidizing people my age and older. But we scare you. You're irresponsible. And what if you get really sick? So again, it's another example of a very elegant transfer of wealth from young people to old people, under the same auspices of rejectionism or a capital gains tax that rewards money more than sweat. Who makes money off money? People my age. Who makes money off sweat? People People your age. Second biggest tax deduction in America, mortgage interest. Who owns homes? People my age. Who rents? People your age. People over the age of 70 are 72% wealthier than they were 40 years ago. People under the age of 40 in America are 24% less wealthy. Almost everything we do in America is an elegant transfer of wealth from young people to old people. And we wonder why there's a birth dearth. Birth rates are off 20% in the last 5 years, and everyone's staring at their navel saying, why aren't young people having kids? It's because they can't afford them.
That's why I love Scott Galloway. Did you guys understand what he was saying? So basically, the boomers, the older people, are you are paying for them if you are in you have any money sort of pulled into the healthcare system. He's not telling any lies, says Jay West. Someone in the comments said, reminded me of the Scott Galloway take on this. So thank you so much. I don't remember who it is, but thank you. Remind me who you are if you're in there when you said Scott Galloway has something. Remind me of who you are. But he's right about that. So nothing makes sense. And while we're at this moment, that's what we should be doing. We should be trying to figure out how to, Scott Galloway is brilliant, says Ira Ruling. Yes, we should be figuring out how we correct this rather than scolding people and trying to scold anchors. And why is she scolding, again, I hate to go back, why is she scolding Rachel Maddow? And why is she saying that people should be fired because they're expressing their opinions? Aren't the Republicans, the MAGA folks, the Fox Newses of the world, all of those people, aren't they like freedom of speech? First Amendment, freedom of speech. Let people say, and she's saying that people should be fired for their beliefs. That's how you know it's all bullshit. Just so you know, let's put that aside. Okay. We talk about the F around, the fuck around and find out. A lot of people have fucked around and they are going to find out right now. Let's talk about deporting migrant workers, right? Deporting immigrants, legal or illegal, and whether that's feasible or not, millions. This is a farmer who voted for Donald Trump, and this is what he has to say. Now listen, because remember, undocumented immigrants, oh my God, we gotta go. This is what he had to say about it. Watch.
What percentage of your workers are not U.S. born?
Probably
Back
half.
up, play the beginning.
Yeah.
Back up, play the beginning.
What percentage of your workers are not U.S. born?
Probably half.
About half?
Yeah.
How many hours does this go on?
It's 24 hours a day. You know, we could milk 8 hours a day, but it wouldn't be feasible or profitable for us to produce milk.
So you need workers like this year-round?
Yes. Yes.
Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota, her farm is just a few miles away. This farmer who voted for her, who voted for Trump, who still supports them, doesn't believe that they would round up immigrants and ask them for their immigration status because it's an open secret that farms in this state are held up by undocumented workers. Are you worried, like some of your other farmers, that if there were a mass roundup of undocumented migrants, that you might lose workers? You might not have enough workers.
Well, the question I asked, how are they going to do that? Within 2 days, we will not have food. There will not be food anywhere.
2 days?
Yes. That's why I predict nobody will be filling the shelves, nobody will be producing food. If we once have to shut down and be gone, it's never coming back.
Does Governor Noem understand that?
I would think so.
You have a lot of faith that they're not going to do what they're saying.
That's pretty much what I'm thinking. So we have to trust in our officials that are put in place.
Oh my gosh. Look, farming's a hard work, right? They don't believe it. But you know, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are lying to you. But it's okay. Donald Trump and Kristi Noem can lie. I just don't believe they're going to say. That's why don't get mad when people say this wasn't about the price of milk or eggs or farmers. Fuck around and find out. 2 days if they start deporting people. 2 days. And that's what you voted for because you thought it was the truth. Man. So undocumented immigrants, labor controls our food supply. They certainly do, casual observer. We've been trying to tell you that. Karen von der Mehden, ignorant. Yes, well, I don't say the man's ignorant. I'm just saying misinformed or just wanted to vote for Donald Trump just because. Not voting on actual policies. Misinformed. Pod Save America. We'll play a little bit of that talking about Donald Trump wanting to cut taxes. Now, remember, let me set this up for you. Donald Trump was at the New York Stock Exchange. I guess, did he do the opening bell? I'm not sure, but this is the same day that he was named Time Magazine Person of the Year, right? Do we have the full screen of what Donald Trump said about, he said, this is in the Time Magazine. Asked whether his presidency would be a failure if grocery prices don't come down. Trump responded it would not, while blaming the Biden administration for the way it handled the inflation that led to higher food prices in the first place. By the way, just remember that that was because of the poor handling of COVID, FYI. And that was Donald Trump. That wasn't Joe Biden. Now, there were, reasons that Joe Biden contributed to the inflation as well. And that was a lot of that. Some of that had to do with what the incentives is they were giving Americans with stimulus checks, et cetera, trying to get the economy back on track because Donald Trump had driven into the ground because of his poor handling of COVID. And even before COVID, the loss of manufacturing jobs, et cetera. Look, they got them up. I'd like to bring them down. It's hard to bring things down again because he was saying, why don't they do something about prices? Remember, everybody's like, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden didn't do anything about grocery prices and the cost of goods. And then now Donald Trump is saying, which was the same thing that the Biden administration faced when they got in, was trying to bring these costs down and deal with the supply chain issues that was created by the Trump administration. It's very hard, he said in an interview published on Thursday, but I think that they will. I think that energy is going to bring them down. Can you take that off the screen so I can read it, please? Energy is going to bring them down. I think a better supply chain is going to bring them down. The supply chain is still broken. It's broken, Trump said. Yeah, Donald Trump, you broke the supply chain. God, my gosh, you guys. Wow. So now he's saying, I can't do it. I can't do the things that I promised. So this is Donald Trump at the New York Stock Exchange talking about cutting taxes. Everybody thinks they're going to cut taxes for the little people, but listen to this.
Your taxes, we're going to cut them very substantially. We got them down to 21% from probably 42 or 44%, depending on where you are. And we got them down to 21. Everyone said that was a miracle. Now we're getting them down to 15, but only if you make your product here.
Now, I didn't see this footage, but was the audience of people he was saying that to at the New York Stock Exchange, was that a group of working class voters who were upset with high grocery prices? Is that who he was talking to?
No, it was a collection of CEOs and stock traders.
Oh,
Yeah,
those are the taxes he wants to cut.
Yes.
Trump lowered the corporate rate to 21% from 35% in the 2017 tax cuts. Now he wants to lower it to 15%. A 15% corporate tax rate would give the largest 10 companies in America a $23 billion tax cut for 10 companies that reported more than $520 billion in profits. This was a cap analysis over the summer. Meta, his new pal Mark Zuckerberg, would get $1.4 billion just for Meta from Trump's plan. United Health. Have you heard about United Health lately? United Health would get $1.3 billion, a tax cut. And 5 largest grocery companies, because of obviously Trump was elected to lower prices for people. That's what he told us. But he does want to give the 5 largest grocery companies $1.7 billion in tax cuts. These are 5 grocery companies that made $29 billion in profits as a bunch of people could not afford their groceries. And now he wants to give them another $1.7 billion. You think they're going to use that $1.7 billion tax cut to lower the cost of food so people can buy their groceries? Probably, right?
Isn't that what happened when they did this exact same thing in 2017? And
Pause. That's good. It can kill it. That's good. This is why I'm going to do one more thing. Let's do, this is the one last thing. The TikToker says, MAGA, you got played by Donald Trump. And then I want to tell you some stuff.
It's going to be a long 4 years. President-elect Felon posted, the Democrats are fighting hard to get rid of the popular vote in future
No, this
elections.
isn't the popular vote.
They
This is
want
the
all
other one.
future.
All of you Trump
That's not
supporters
that.
out there, you
There
got
you go.
played so badly by Donald Trump. His entire campaign promise to you was, we're going to lower prices. Now, just today, he said it's going to be very hard to lower grocery prices. After saying he could do it like that, it would be so easy. And Donald Trump also recently said that he couldn't guarantee that his tariffs won't raise prices. So congratulations, MAGA. Not only are you not getting lower prices, but instead you're getting higher prices because we pay the tariffs. All of us were telling you before the election that this would happen, that Donald Trump's policies are only going to raise prices. He can't just magically lower the price of groceries. You didn't listen. So have fun.
That was Harry Sisson. I didn't realize that was Harry okay, so there you go. Helen P says, I love Harry. Harry's a good kid. Okay, so this is how I feel, guys. All right. When I tell you, when I've been on here, as I've been going out and speaking to people, I've been speaking to people and people are like, really sort of, and I said, what are you sad about? What do you don't be sad. You shouldn't feel bad. If you voted for democracy, you voted for the right thing. If you voted for women's reproductive rights, then you did the right thing. If you voted for the economy to continue on the good track that it is, then you voted the right way. You did the right thing. Just because you didn't win, it doesn't mean that you didn't do the right thing. It doesn't mean that. And so now what you do is you do what you can do on your local level, whatever it is that you can do to make sure that the things that you have control over work. Get involved in your local politics. Get involved in your home. And also, here's what else you should do. Get closer to your family and your friends and your loved ones. And all of those things. And just grab some popcorn, as Dee Dee says, and enjoy your life. Because if it works out, let's just say prices do come down, the economy, then you'll be okay with it. And if it doesn't, then you'll go, okay, I told you so. And then guess what? They'll be out forever. So 4 years, hold on, but don't lose your head over it. As I always say to you guys, you can be informed without being inundated, which means you don't have to have every single news app, network, whatever, update pinging you. This happened. That's going to happen a lot. Like it happened last time. Remember, every day there was like 3, 4, 5, 6 things that happened. And everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing that. You know what I had for dinner last night? I went to a Christmas party in my neighborhood and I came home and I was like, I just had like a little sort of finger food that they were going around, apps, pass hors d'oeuvres as they call them. And I came home and I had some popcorn and a glass of wine. And I did what all the Black women in my life have been telling me to do. When someone says, oh my God, can you believe he was at the New York Stock Exchange and he said he was going to lower taxes for the rich people? And I go, and you know what Black women say? Oh, really? We're having spaghetti for dinner. Would you like to come over? The kids have a Christmas pageant tomorrow. You want to come? I'll see if I can get an extra ticket. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? Farmers they said that 50% of their workers are undocumented. Oh my God, can you believe that? Oh my God, he's going to do Pete Hegseth. Oh, he's going to do. You know what Black women are saying? Oh, really? I'm going to the beauty parlor tomorrow. My stylist is great. Would you like to try her out? Come hang out. Get your popcorn and chill out. Don't be bothered. You can be informed without being inundated. Oh my gosh, can you believe what Don Lemon said about Donald Trump? Don Lemon is a meltdown about Donald Trump and Time Magazine Person of the Year. I said what I said. I didn't melt down. Was a meltdown saying that a convicted felon is now Time Magazine's Person of the Year, an adjudicated assaulter clarified by the judge. The judge said it was akin to what? That was a judge from the Washington Post saying that it was akin to rape. Now, that's what a judge says, told the Washington Post, a judge in that case. That person is Time Magazine's Person of the Year. The person who wants to grab him by the pee is Time Magazine's Person of the Year. It's not that's pointing out facts. So we're living in a world like that. I can't imagine if that was Barack Obama or any other person, really, especially a Democrat. So that's not a meltdown. That's a stating facts. So state your facts. State your facts and then move along. So today when people start telling me, oh my God, Donald Trump, do it, can you believe? I saw at this thing I went to last night, there were a lot of politicians there, a lot of high-profile people, in New York government, prosecutors, et cetera, attorneys, general attorney, all of that, lots of them. And I saw them and they would say, people would come up to me and say, oh my God, are you ready for that? And I would be like, nope. They wanted to start talking about it. And I said, look, oh my God, shrimp is coming around right now. Isn't it tasty? Can you believe that the charges were dropped? Oh, look at that. Oh, how did you guys try they've got Martell at the bar. They're giving Martell shots away. I ain't got time for it. You can be informed without being inundated. So thank you, Black women, for always doing the right thing, for working all the time to save our democracy and to save our minds and our mental health and our peace. So when someone says something and then you're all freaked out, do what the Black women are doing. I think I'll go get my hair did. So I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic weekend. That's right. Shrimp is coming, says Mango Lime. Right? Have a great weekend. Enjoy your life. And you don't have to watch anything. When I call my mom used to sit there every single day with cable news on all day. And when I call her now, I say, Mom, what are you doing? She goes, nothing, sitting here. I was thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm watching Me TV. The Rifleman is on. I'm like, oh, wow. I used to love watching that show. And then I call her back later. I said, hey, Mom, what are you doing? She goes, Me TV still. I may turn it on to Turner Classic Movies a little bit later. But right now I'm watching the Andy Griffith Show. And I said, what happened to cable news? She says, I don't want to watch that shit no more. I'm over it. I'm tired. Sick and tired. Sick and tired. And that is a good way to end when I say nothing makes sense, considering what happened with the alleged shooter and the CEO and what America is dealing right now. You know what America is? That's where we should have put the thumbnail. America is sick and tired. Bye. We are thrilled to have you as one of our watchers. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button as well. And that way you can be notified about all of our new content. There's plenty of it for you. We're live every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop more videos at 2 p.m. Eastern and at 5 p.m. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon Nation, of the Lemon community. Members receive access to special community posts, exclusive content, and live shows. So just head right over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you